Welcome to the Duda Experts Education Series, brought to you by the Duda Solutions Partners here at Fixate Media. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Duda form widget. When you're logged into your site and inside of the editor, you can add as many forms as you need for your website and in a variety of different pages. This is what the form widget looks like when it's open, and we're going to walk through all of the different components. On the Content tab, we have three sub-tabs beginning with Form Items. These items are the fields that you can create for your form. Clicking Add a Field will allow you to name the field, determine what type of field it is, a text field, drop-down, etc. Important to note that you can also do file attachments or uploads with forms. You can also include placeholder text for that field, determine whether or not it's a required field, whether you want to start a new line at the field, as well as the overall field size of the form field. You can reorder the field simply by grabbing on the three dots on the left-hand side of the field and dragging it to the new position and releasing, and they can be moved up and down. Scrolling down, you can control what the language is on the Submit button. You can see that affected here. You can even add reCAPTCHA, which will help reduce spam or bots filling out your forms. And you can also control the form title. This is important to note if you have more than one form on your website. For example, a contact form and a sign up for your email delivery form. So those are the components on the Form Field tab. Clicking Submission and moving down to New Submission Notification will now allow us to dictate what email addresses will receive this form submission. You can actually add as many emails as you like simply by adding a comma and adding another comma and adding as many emails as you need. You can change what the subject line of the message is that will come, as well as dictate the name it will come from. Actions after submission will allow you to customize the thank you message upon submission, the error message if one should be encountered, and down here, toggling redirect to a page after submission will allow you to forward the user to another page. This is an ideal use case for a thank you page. Scrolling down a bit further, we now have the option to auto-reply to the form submitter, and toggling that on will automatically send a copy of this message to the individual who submitted it. It will allow you to control the from name, the subject, as well as the message that goes with a copy of their message. So this is always a good way to let people know when they will hear from you or what next steps might be after they submit the form. And finally, on the Submissions tab, we have the tracking option, which will allow you to add conversion tracking code for different types of ad campaigns that will track the submissions and report that information back to a variety of different sources. Lastly, we have the Integration tab, and here we can now connect this form to Google Sheets, and that will create a new row for every submission as a backup. You can connect it to Mailchimp. You can connect it to Constant Contact, as well as through Webhooks. Important to note that these are all possible options, and you could easily have a form going to two different email addresses, backing up to a Google Sheet, as well as going to Mailchimp, and even redirecting the user to another page. So there's a lot of functionality and features packed into the content form. Moving over to the Design tab, here we have a handful of different layout options that you can choose as far as the aesthetic of the form. You can control the form alignment, and then of course, like all Duda widgets, you can control the details of the fields and the text and the typography and the colors. In addition to all of those options, clicking on the SEO and Settings tab of your website, and then clicking on Manage Form Responses will also be a repository or a backup of all of the forms that have been submitted through your site. So even though you get it through email, perhaps backed up to a Google Sheet, if there's ever a need to go and review what was submitted, you can always take advantage of that by going to SEO and manage form responses. And you can even then export those submissions into a CSV file. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks from the Fix8 Duda experts.